I don't think it is. I don't see it. Huh? Now I see it. I wasn't seeing it at first. You see it? And it had told me to try again or something. Um, I don't know if they're sending out the notifications or what. Because I'm not showing number one person in here. Is that you? Okay, I'm going to give it to the 3 minute mark, y'all. And then I'm just going to start because I don't know. Now it jumped to 8. I don't know what's going on. Y'all, so let me go here. I'll go ahead and get into it, okay? Um, so y'all see the title. Um, it caught up with me, okay? Hey, Grow with Nay 2, Mrs. Charles, Carol, hey y'all. Um, so y'all know I stay open with y'all. I tell y'all what it is. Um, everything. Cause if it can help somebody, it'll help somebody. So y'all know how I'm always saying, know your numbers. Okay? Know your numbers. Y'all know I told y'all I had my yearly physical coming up. All right? Not gonna give specific dates, this, that, and the other, but I did have my yearly physical recently. Okay? And I was disappointed a little bit in myself because I know better. Okay? Um, everything is good because it could be a lot worse, but for my mental and my mind, I kind of beat it myself up the last, week or so, I guess you can say. So I knew my iron was still gonna be low because your girl hadn't been supplementing. And honestly, I thought that since I was eating red meat, that I would be good. So I knew my iron was low. Okay, I knew I was gonna have to, figure out what to do with that. But I have a new issue, and it's all because of me. All those Wendy's burgers that I've been eating, and all the what's that other place I've been getting the tenders from? Slim Chicken. All the Slim Chicken I've been eating, and then the Arby's steak nuggets that I've been eating. Just having a good old time. And if y'all go back for months, I've been saying, y'all, I gotta stop this. How many of y'all remember me saying, y'all, I gotta stop this? Y'all, I gotta stop this. Y'all, this ain't how I normally would eat. But oh my goodness, don't have no gallbladder. I can eat what I couldn't eat for, what, 10, 12 years? I couldn't eat a lot of stuff. And so I just indulged. And then y'all know I had got to where I was so busy where I wasn't eating. Then that sent me to the hospital in August. Okay? And when he said you need to eat, then I started just going crazy on everything. But I kept saying, y'all, I need to stop this. I need to get back to the way I used to eat. And how many of you that's been following me and heard me say, I went, 12 years? And I went 12 years with no pork and no beef, no red meat. How many of y'all been following me and I've been saying that? But when they told me that my iron was low last year, and it seemed like, I was having a hard time supplementing, I had one doctor that said eat red meat. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe I was doing harm. I wasn't eating the red meat for all them years, not saying, okay, the gallbladder, you did have a what they call an invasive surgery, you could have lost iron then and then all that. And I just, one thing, I was just enjoying myself. So my physical shows that my cholesterol cholesterol is high. And I've never had this issue. Last year at my yearly physical, my cholesterol, my good and my bad cholesterol was, well, I'm going to tell you. Last year, my LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, was 99. So it was borderline 100. Anything 100 and up, they consider, being high. Mine's, so last year, everything was in the green. Good. This physical, my overall total for cholesterol, I'm under 200. So that's good. It's in the green. My good cholesterol last year was a 56. It was in the green. It is a 42 now. It's in the red. My bad cholesterol is like 27 over. So it's like 127. And my non-LDL cholesterol, I think, was like 184, 140, either 147 or 184, something like that. 147, I think. 147. So I'm not in the zone where, hey, gotta get medication. I'm not in that zone. She wants to recheck me back in some months, okay? Which will be next year sometime. She told me to cut back on fatty foods and red meat to 1 to 2 weeks. To 1 to 2 per serving, 1 to 2 serving per week. But sister girl ain't gotta tell me number one time. And that's where I beat myself up. I know these things. I know how my body do. My anxiety and my OCD has been off the rocker. Okay? And it wasn't until I found this out that I'm like, dang, I know now. When I started eating all them Wendy's burgers, really around August, it started flaring up. And that would have been when I started eating them burgers and stuff, when he told me I need to eat. I started eating the wrong thing, and my OCD just been crazy. Well, doctor told me a long time ago that I'm not supposed to have red meat. I'm not supposed to have high sugar. That do not work with my OCD. It feeds it, okay? So my thing is, all with the iron being low, and you get one person saying eat red meat. I overdid it because I guess it's moderation, because I've been having a good old time, okay? A good old time. But y'all know, y'all done heard me say I need to go back to being a poly-pescatarian. I need to go back to being a poly-pescatarian. I had been saying, I'm like, the red meat ain't gonna work for me. It's not gonna work for me. Even the pork. So I was gonna put my physical off. I had said, man, I went to the hospital, they checked me, make sure wasn't nothing wrong. They said I needed to eat. I was like, man, I'm already later in the year. I'm past the time I wanted to do my physical. I was like, I'm just gonna get it done in January. And someone was like, nah, because your insurance. That's nothing. You got to get it this year. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do it. Now, me knowing, saying to myself, I know I've been eating crazy. I don't want to go up in there. I know I've been eating crazy. I don't want to go in there. I went on in there, though. I kept my appointment. I went on in there. Yeah, these the results. It's like, what if I would have waited to January and kept eating Wendy's? I know Wendy's. That Dave's double burger, the last one I ate, when I looked at my hands were so greasy. I remember saying to myself, dang, that's a lot of grease. I know that's what did it, because I've been on them suckers. I hadn't had Wendy's, y'all. I hadn't been able to eat Wendy's in around maybe about 11 years. I hadn't had a real Wendy's burger in about 11 years. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So I know what did it. Probably was borderline. I was in the green. Everything was good last physical. And now it's just teetered it way up because I was late this month. So I was like, what? 17 months over due, because go once a year, so I was a couple months over. So yeah, so ain't got it. I feel like this is a little quick, but I'm just thankful though, because what if I would have waited to January? I probably would have been over the 200s and a lot of my cholesterol margins. And I'm thankful that no medication is been prescribed for it. She just counting on me to do right. All right. And if I don't do right, then medication will be, and I don't want to be on medication. My vitamin D. It was on the low side last year. And she on the low side this year. I mean, no. She was on the low side last year. She low this year. So I did get prescribed vitamin D. That makes 3 of us in here on vitamin D. And if you notice, you ain't been getting a lot of videos from the garden, from Amazing Grace, because I ain't been out there. I was all right when I was getting that sun, okay? But my diet has been crazy because it's been busy. This just has been a crazy couple months. And I tell y'all this because I'm big on my health, okay? I'm big on my health. I may be scared, but I'm big on my health, okay? And we need to know our numbers. You go to the doctor, you get your CBC test, and you get your comprehensive metabolic panel or something like that. And then if you got any concerns, they may do extra stuff. Like with me not having a gallbladder, my doctor checked my B12. B12 fine. She did check outside of those panels my thyroids, because I had told her about gaining weight and stuff like that. I thought I was going in perimenopause. I did, and she was like, I was like, I'm gonna make sure my cycle changing up. I'm not going in perimenopause, and she think I'm too young for that. Even though it can happen, some women 35, it starts at 35. I'm 38. She still think I'm too young for perimenopause. So she ruled that out, but so she was like, I'm going to check your thyroids. My thyroids was in the green. Nothing to worry about with my thyroids. So knowing your numbers, that is part of being an adult. That's part because things can sneak up on you. I have a cholesterol problem that I know of. I'm just thankful that I carried my butt on in there and got my physical done. PAP, I'm not due for a PAP. I got a PAP last year. I even had her to do a breast exam on me, how they do, how we supposed to do monthly. But I also had my doctor to do it, professionally do it in case I may, miss something or whatnot, and everything was good. But that's what a lot of my anxiety come from, is health anxiety, because that's how my OCD works with me. So I hadn't put up much, haven't did that, because I was just beating myself up like, girl, you know better. You normally would eat healthy, you know what you're supposed to do. And then I thought about how I had got down to 108 pounds in 2020 by going gluten and dairy. Now, mind you, when I got 108, I was like, no, too small. So I started, getting my weight back up. Once I got to 125, I was happy with it. But then I just let life just, and I just kept eating, and now I'm 165. So I know that the weight got to come down. She didn't say it or anything. She just said pull back on red meat and fatty foods. So she the doctor. She knows what she sees. She knows this, that, and other. My blood pressure. For me to be anxious and have white coat syndrome when I go to the doctor, my blood pressure was impressed me, okay? And I'm going to tell you, I think it's got something to do with before I went to my physical. Y'all know I had already started buying stuff to eat healthy, my meal prepping. It's almost like God was guiding me, because he already know I had messed up. It's like God had already knew I had messed up. And he went on and guided me in the way to get fruit and stuff. And remember, I got a couple months ago, I had got the bento box. I said meal prepping and stuff, and I kept saying it was like, so yeah. So I have everything I need to get back on track. But just imagine if I didn't go. If I didn't go, I would have been even more disappointed because my levels would have been even higher, okay? Um, yeah, I was worried about fatty liver. My liver levels was fine. My phosphate, it was up last year 12 points. And she said she wasn't chasing it. It wasn't no problem. This year, it went down 6 points, making me only 5 points over. So she didn't say nothing about that because all the other two markers that tells you if you have a fatty liver or something, they all in range and they are like, they not even close to the max. So I'm good there. I'm thankful for that because changing my diet and getting back on track is going to help that even more. Okay, it's going to help that even more. So I'm good with that. So just my vitamin D, I already knew my iron because your girl ain't been supplementing. I literally wasn't. I wanted to see if the red meat and stuff good. Now my hemoglobin went up. After that surgery, my hemoglobin was a 10.6, I think. So my hemoglobin went up. I say I'm at 11.7, so that's good. But when they dive deeper into it, because they know I'm anemic, iron deficient anemic, they dive deep into it. My ferritin only went up 2 points, so my ferritin is a 18, and I think it's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's supposed to be 30 or better. So ferritin is the iron. It deals with the iron. So of course my RCW, MCH, and all this stuff was going to be in the red. It just it's like either a point under or a point over or something like that. But all that deals with my iron. Everything tells them that hey, she's iron deficient, anemic. This is why this is why this looked like this. But at least my hemoglobin went up. Um, let's see. So yeah, my iron I already know supplement with that. She did tell me if this is like if I don't supplement these months, she's gonna send me for iron infusion, and I don't want an iron infusion. So your girl gonna be supplementing, okay? I will be supplementing. Um, that's a must. And then, like I said, my cholesterol, no medication for it. Just get my diet back on track. She said limit red meat and fatty food to once or twice a week. I don't want none of it. I don't want none of it. I want to go back to being a polypescatarian. I just do, and I've been telling y'all that for a while. I do. I literally do. So it's happening now. Um, and hopefully that's gonna help me lose weight. My goal for weight that I want to be is at least 135. Okay. Um, I see somebody put cortisol because I have anxiety and it caused me to stress a lot. My cortisol, I probably create a lot of cortisol. That's why I'm gaining so much around my midsection. So what I did was, and I'm just being open with y'all, I had thought about it a couple of months ago about telling my doctor, saying when I go to physical, I'm going to tell my doctor that I need to go ahead and talk to someone for the OCD. So when I got there, I asked her about it, and she was like, she said, "Is it taking over your life, like your day-to-day life?" I said it was some months ago, and then it got better. And she was like, "Well, we can work on it now if if you want to." I was like, "No." Then I thought about it. I said, "You know what? Go on, set it up. Go on, set it up." Because that's how it do. That's how OCD do. Sometimes it will come back. It'll come back and then it'll get better. Now, mind you, when you have OCD, you're not crazy, okay? It's no crazy because some people be like, oh, she got a mental problem. OCD, actually, it's been studies shown that people with OCD is highly intelligent. So we focus on perfection. We focus on, however way it bothers you or whatnot. So it's not one of those, but it do take over it's obsessive. It take over your day to day, and it did start being overwhelming a couple months ago. Um, so yeah, so I did get set up so I can get a therapist because that's part of being grown. That's part of doing what you got to do, and I care for myself, and mentally, I don't want OCD to continue to take over my day to day life. So I did set up for me to start therapy. So I'm excited about that. because I hadn't had therapy since 17. Um, well, 18, because once I turn 18, if you don't have insurance and stuff, that becomes very expensive. And I'm not going to do, the only way to fix OCD is brain surgery for them to put the cells. So OCD is you lacking cells, okay? So next thing is like therapy. Therapists, I've been on so many medications since a child for this disorder for OCD, and it don't work for me. So therapy did work. Having someone to talk to that understand that disorder. Um, that's not gonna, you're not gonna feel like you're being judged or something because of something you cannot control. So that helps. It literally helps. So anybody that's having any type of mental disorders, don't be shamed. Do not be shamed. Don't be shamed. Get the help that you need. So I went on and set that up. I think I have my first, what should say, December 1st. My first setup is December 1st. So I'm excited about that because it had been literally taking a toll. Literally taking a toll. Like controlling me from the time I get up. So I recognized that a couple months ago. I told Oronde that I'm going to have to do it. So I'm happy that I got it done. I'm happy that it started. She went on and set me up because when she said, is it taking over your day to day? It was like a relief because she understands. She understands, and she said we just partnered with another with a company here, and I'm like, is my insurance gonna cover it? She said yes. I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, and it's all virtual. If you want it virtual, I was like, what? So yeah, so I will do a therapist. I can go in if I want to, but I know why they got it virtual. Some people is embarrassed to admit that they may have a situation, a mental situation or whatnot. And all mental disorders is not, I guess it depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? So now, let me just say this. Just because I'm OCD, it does not make me unaware of seeing what I be seeing be going on. We really pay attention to a lot of stuff. When I tell you I can feel people energy and all that, if you literally go deep into OCD, you'll understand. A person with OCD is very intelligent, very perfectionist, can literally read. Empathy, oh yeah. So it's a big explaining, but the bad part of it, it controls us. It controls us. It will drive you crazy. And I do think because of my diet, it helped really flare it all the way up. And so now I'm going to need my diet changed, my lifestyle changed, and I'm going to need that push mentally from, someone that is going to understand that disorder. That is it's a horrible disorder. It really is. OCD is, and I've lived with this, being diagnosed with it at 7. I used to have to go to therapy. It started off, I think, once a week, and then over a couple years, it went to like once every 2 weeks or whatnot. But I haven't had therapy since 18. I was cut off at 18 for his insurance, and then I was on my own anyway at 18, so by choice. So I just kind of like milked it, tried to deal with it. I used to go through blackout stages, just a lot. So now I'm not having any blackouts or anything. It's just that mental part. It's just that when I get up, that just stronghold mentally, and you gonna know it if you deal with it. You're gonna know it. So I'm excited about, getting that help. I thank God that I did go and get my physical like I know I should have. Even though I beat myself up for eating crazy. Y'all know though, if y'all been following me, y'all know you done heard MGL say several times, I gotta stop y'all, I gotta stop this, I gotta get back on track. I know what to do. And it kind of was teetering. And that right there is why those of you that's prepping, People come in my comment section and they want to talk. Do what you want to do, but I'm not going to tell nobody to do nothing wrong. That's why I say, when we prepping and stocking food, you need to stock. You need to stock food that you can make healthy or is already as healthy as possible. Excuse me. Not knocking nobody, but I have seen stockpiles that is full of processed salt and grease. And when I say that, so much spam, so much that in an emergency situation, you need the healthy foods. I've been saying that for years, and people get mad. And some of the people that chooses to stock up bad stuff is the ones that gets mad because they don't want to hear you need to stock up good foods. Your flours and stuff where you can make, like I made the tea cakes, you can make that in different ways. You don't want to be in a situation where things teeter up on you. It slowly get you. Because that is exactly what happened. If I didn't go and I would have continued eating the way I've been eating, I probably would have had to get medication. You know? So I probably would have had to get medication. So thank God. So y'all gonna see, it's a whole lifestyle change. I don't like it because I know better. You know? And I can't do nothing about it now, far as what I've already ate. But I can start now and making sure that when I go back in the months that she wants me to come back, I know that I have a goal of being slimmer, and I have a goal of my cholesterol being in order. I have a goal that my iron being intact, and I have a goal that my vitamin D is where it needs to be. And those are lifestyle changes. Even, and I'm not talking about temporary, I'm talking about forever. Okay, as long as you're alive, forever. Go know your numbers. Okay, know your numbers. It don't take much. If you don't have insurance, I think maybe about $150, maybe $200. It's worth it. I know CBC test and a comprehensive metabolic panel, I think is what it's called. And if you having any issues, tell your doctor so they can add extra stuff, like the weight gain and how my cycle was doing. I thought it was perimenopause. You know, just hearing her telling me I'm too young for that. So she said, well, I'm going to check your thyroids. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Even though they fine, I appreciate it knowing that they're fine. Knowing that this weight gain is because what I've been putting in my bread basket. But you just never know. I'm not a doctor. That's why I go there. That's why I go there for. It's important. It is important. You know. So I thank God that, like I said, I already knew it was my iron. Had an idea that my vitamin D, that's not shock. That wasn't a shocker, that my vitamin D, because it was a little low last year. But it wasn't low. It was still in range. So what was the shocker? The cholesterol. But it wasn't a shocker to how it got high. Because I know what I've been doing. Okay? So, know your numbers. It's a beautiful feeling to know your numbers. Okay? Yeah. And when you go to a doctor for a physical, they go in depth. You know? They go in depth. They don't just do a quick overall. They go in depth. You know? So, you know, get those things done. I think last time I said CBC last year when I was telling y'all about knowing your numbers, I didn't know. I know CBC is done, but it's the CMP is done too. Somebody put it in here, the comprehensive metabolic. That goes in depth with other, you know, other things, other levels and stuff like that. I get a CBC done every so many months for the iron. But that comprehensive metabolic panel thing, that's done once a year. Okay, so that where it goes all across the board, goes a little deeper, you know, with your cholesterol, your sugar. this, she didn't do A1C, but I know she told me she was gonna measure the blood glucose, the sugar in my blood. It was 86. It was great. Everything was great. Everything was great, in range, whether it was close to or low. Either way, it was in range. And with mine, I'm able to see from last year physical to now, if things moved or whatnot. But when I go back next year, in the months that I'm supposed to go back for the cholesterol, I'm gonna be able to know I ain't had no fried food, I ain't had no beef, I ain't had no pork. I took my iron, I took my vitamin D. That's gonna be my legit numbers of clean eating, clean lifestyle, and then I'll be able to go from there. So yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I'm just still not happy with the cholesterol, mainly because I knew better. But yeah, it could be a lot worse. Everything else was fine. So make sure you get y'all physicals, okay? Because I was going to put it off. I literally was going to put that physical off. And I was going to continue to eat Dave's double burgers. And by the time I would have made it there, my cholesterol probably would have been in 300s or something, okay? So let's see. Grow with Nate too. Ham Jill, we miss you. I'm bored between patients, but I keep up as much as I can. I got my notification. Thank you, Grow with Nate too. Thank you, honey. Mrs. Charles, let's see. I think I read y'all. Hey, La Familia. We were in the building. We here in the building. Said cholesterol. Yep, that's what it was. So you had answered it. Yes, ma'am, I remember. Elevating you, LOL. Remember? Okay, so many of y'all remember. Do you eat greens and spinach? I do, but lately I hadn't been eating the amount that I should. All that is finna change. Like, literally, I know everything I need to do, and that's what beats me up. That's why I was beating myself up. Like, girl, you... I'm in tune with my body. I pay attention to things. And I know, back when I was doing when I was off the gluten and the dairy. And like I say, my lifestyle for 12 years straight, I was a polypescatarian. I literally was. I didn't know, I thought it was just pescatarian. I didn't know it was because I ate chicken, I didn't know, and I was fine. And I just got comfortable and just got out from it and just, so I can literally go back to the way I ate, and I was literally fine. And that's what really got all my greens and spinach and stuff. The garden is even more important. And look how I started the indoor garden. Things are growing so good in there, which I gotta show y'all that. Things are growing so good in there. But look, I just feel like God was guiding me because he knew I was going to get to that physical. And he knew the damage I had been doing and the wrong I had been doing with eating. He knew all that. So I feel like he was going ahead getting me prepared ahead of time. Mingo, I knew it. Don't feel bad. Mine's up there, and a sister gained weight. Grow with they too. So if y'all want to jump on the bandwagon with me, and we kind of just like start now and do it together, y'all can. Because your girl not finna do it. You only got one time to tell me. One time. I'm not finna give you the option to put me on no medication for no cholesterol. Or nothing that I can control, okay? So, yeah. I think it was just a recall on cholesterol medication. So, let's see. Christy L, hey. Don't beat yourself up too much. The most important thing is now you know, and you can get a firm grip on it from now on. Yes, Yolanda Life. That's why I had to tell myself. Dave did you dirty. Yeah, Dave did me dirty. Yes. Them burgers were so good. The Dave single double. Oh. Let's see. This is really nice of you to share with us because any of us can be in the same boat. Yes, you're on the life. It's good to know. Geritol Daily has been life changing for me. Try it for your iron deficiency anemia. Okay, Michi, thank you for that. Geritol. Okay. Shatika Woods. Hey, Shatika. Geritol is amazing. Dominique, hey. Danny, hey. I was on if it's in February. They wanted to do infusion. I said no. I started Geritol and just retested the other day and it's 5.8 and normal. Oh wow, that's good, Michi. It can be overwhelming. The therapy helped me. Oh, for the OCD, yes, yes. That's why I was like, I need to get back into it because, you know. Hey, Brenda Smith. Our community looks down on mental health therapy. Kudos, it helps as long as you put that work in. Exactly, Danny. Exactly. That's why I've always been open about my OCD. And like I say, it don't make you. People think, oh, if you got OCD or any mental thing, you're crazy. No, actually, a lot of people that has mental health issues are actually very, 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 very smart. And that may be part of the problem. Part of the problem. So I've always been advanced. People would tell my granny was like, she's so advanced for her age. Like, straight A and B student and all that, but I have OCD. It's just that's just that's wonderful on this lives. Hey, Tiki Lynn, Carol. Everyone remember to hit that like button and thank you. It's hard when you live with people that don't understand. Yeah, for the OCD, yeah, it is. And that's why I had said a couple months ago, I'm like, I literally have to um get help to like get me back on track or whatnot because you're right, it's hard. It's literally hard. Um it's literally hard. People don't understand it. Proud of you, MJL, for booking therapy. Thank you, Michi. Shona Davis, more grace. Therapy is part of self-care and healing. Yes, it is, Michi. Yes, adding protein shakes to my stockpile. Got you. I can't take protein shake. They don't agree with me. Yep, spam and canned ham. Yeah. And remember I had put that stuff in. And mainly because, a lot of people was like, oh, well, you need this, that, and the other. And I kept saying it just wasn't sitting right with me. Then we would try and eat it. And I would get sick. And it's just like, I can't do this. I can't do what everybody, and that's another thing. We can't do what everybody tell us to do just because it worked for, and sometimes it don't even work for everybody, but they want you to be in the same boat as them. If they don't want to get this, that, and the other, they want you to be the same way. Like I had somebody tell me some months ago. Well, it was earlier this year. It was something, and they was like, y'all don't eat enough, or y'all. It was something, but it was something healthy we was eating, and I'm like, you don't know my kid's body. You don't know my body. Like, just because you probably sit up and you eating 5 cheese lasagna or something, or fried foods every day, everybody can't do that. And then it just kind of went down. Sometimes we can do things because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. For us, like stocking up, we're supposed to have spam and all that stuff. And there are so many other options. And I'll just have to stick to what I know is best. Because if not, it's me. It's me that's in that boat. Nobody else. So I literally have to pay attention. Canned fruit and light syrup or just can it yourself. Yep. Oh, things has changed. Things has changed. Okay, I don't want to see another fried food. And I'm literally, I know in moderation, but I don't want to do it at all because I want to make sure me going the next month of not having none of that. I want to see how well my numbers and stuff do. I want to know how I can stay well, what will happen if I just discipline myself and just stay in discipline mode. Okay, so I don't want no fast food. I don't want no fried food. I don't want none. I want to go back to the way I was years ago. Okay, I haven't forgot that, so I know what to get. I know what to eat. I know this, that, and the other. So I want to go back to that. And look, I have everything I need. A garden. I got chickens for my own eggs. I'm growing in. Everything was set up because, like I said, God knew I was I was knew I wasn't doing right. And I just take this as a warning. Just happy that I ain't got to be on medication right now. So important, the CMP and the CBC. Yes, Michi. The CMP, the Comprehensive Metabolic some panel, and that CBC. Um, said all praises that the report wasn't too bad. It could have been worse. Glad you retained the information you need to have decided to make changes. Yes, La Familia, exactly. Everyone joining late from Alabama, but we'll catch the beginning of the replay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes those doctors don't go as depth as they should. There, we need to be able to advocate strongly for ourselves and loved ones, especially during the climate we are in. Yeah, because I even asked y'all, remember back in 2023 when I had broke out and I went to the doctor twice and they finally figured out it was that pedicel roselle. And I even asked my doctor that. I was like, look, is it so I'll be knowing? Season changing? Can I get that again? Because I don't want that. She was like, no, normally when you done had it once, it don't normally come back. She was like, her neighbor had it all of a sudden. And she said, I said it lasted about 6 weeks with me. And she was like, her neighbor, what did she say? It took some work for her neighbor. So I guess she, since she a doctor or whatnot, she helped the neighbor out, but it took some work for her neighbor. So the pedicel roselle, I was like, look, I said, I still don't understand, what was with that? She said it's common. She said normally adults before 35 done experienced it. Sometimes it happens after. But she said when the season change or whatnot, and the only thing I can think of is I had that surgery May 2023. This happened around what? September 2023. See, my immune system and everything was down. At that point, I didn't know that my iron and my hemoglobin was low. I didn't go back to the doctor for my first physical after the actually my first physical, because leading up into that I didn't have insurance. When that gallbladder went out and they realized that all the time that I had to go there and the extent and all that, it was over $77,000. That's when they gave me insurance. Okay, so I've had it ever since because they wanted their hospital bill paid. So that allowed me to be able to start back with my physicals. So I went March of last year, 2024. So from May 2023 to March of 2024, I didn't know that my hemoglobin was that low. I didn't know that my iron was low. I didn't find this out until last year. So when I went back to labs, I had because I keep all my labs and stuff, everything that I had like years and years ago, like when I was having kids and stuff. When I went back and looked at those, that's when I found out my iron has always been low. But I didn't know. So now that I'm on top of everything, that is like, where we are now. So that's why it's very, very important to, I did the best I could, But once that insurance came, I took advantage of it. And I'm doing what I need to do because we need to know things. So I was like, that pedicel, she's like, yeah, it's coming. She was like, season change. Yes, I was like, cause I had never. And she said so many people it just spring on them, but normally once you done had it, you don't get it back no more. I said thank you, cause I don't think I can do another one of those, cause that was just horrible. You get the little what they call the hurl patch. It may come in the inside. Mine was in the inside of my arm, and it looks disgusting because it looks like a ringworm. And they call it the Christmas tree something because you break out like this on your back and you break out on your stomach and your chest and you break out the upper parts of your arm and your thighs. You don't break out on your face. You don't break out on down your legs. You don't break out. It's crazy. And normally kids will get it. And it's not contagious, but it itch and it's awful. And it lasts about 6 weeks. But some people have it even longer. And they say it's like if you're, it's kind of like sometimes people get like autoimmune. I didn't know my iron was low. So I had went through that surgery. It was a stressful surgery for us them doing it. I had, everything was low and I was scared to eat because I didn't know what to eat after the gallbladder. My body trying to, do this. My intestines doing something crazy because now it's got to get used to missing a whole organ in between it and the liver. It was crazy. So, I remember the doctor said you need rest. That's number one. You need rest. Because I thought maybe it was something I was allergic to or whatnot, but it was pityriasis rosea. If you look it up, so you won't be alarmed if it happens to you. You will see so many women, even on YouTube, and doctors will say they don't know it happens to kids or whatnot, but they link it to having a cold or seasonal, changes or something like that, or stress. My body did go through a lot of stress after that surgery, during that surgery, before that surgery. It was just a lot. So keep that in mind. But I did ask her this time. I was like, look, because you weren't my doctor then, but I just want to know, am I going to have to deal with that again? She's like, nope. But she said, she was laughing. She was like, her neighbor, they had to go. It took longer. Okay, and some people say they done had it for months, and it's like you got to limit your stress. You got to, and I think it's if you're low in like zinc and stuff too, like it can happen. But I'm just glad I ain't got to deal with that no more. I ain't got to deal with that no more. Let's see. Take care of ourselves. Critical in this stage. I power walk in my hour yesterday. Felt so good. Hadn't done that in years. Baby steps. So yes, La Familia. I understand. Hey PNG. Hey the Stable Homestead. Be careful of frozen chicken in bags. It's frozen salt solution for those with high blood pressure. Oh, you know what? I forgot to say it. My blood pressure shocked me though. My blood pressure was 128 over 74. I was like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, your girl doing good on that. So, because normally I'll be like so anxious and stuff. That's part of the OCD. I would be like 140 something. Oh, and once the doctor visit over, it'll go down. I was like, man, 128 over 74, that's good. Okay. All right, gotcha. So, because I was telling my nurse, I was like, I'm kind of anxious. I don't like coming to the doctor. And she was like, I said, so my blood pressure probably going to be high. And when she took it, she started laughing. I was like, what? She said, high. Hypertension, where? She was like, it's perfect. Like, what? Okay. But see, I had already started changing my diet. I had literally, before I went, had already started changing my diet. Because I knew it wasn't right. I knew my diet wasn't right. So I'm like, okay, all right, good. Because I don't want to be on no blood pressure medicine neither. So never been on it, and I choose to keep it that way. Okay, if I can. Maybe better to stock up on canned goods. Just 3 ingredients. Yeah, for an emergency situation, Danny. I cook more from home. Scratch twice monthly food. I ain't even doing that, Shonda. I ain't even doing that. I'm just like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I done had my fun time. It's time to get back to, what I know. Cynthia Murray. Hey, Cynthia. Yeah, okay, I'm all caught up now. All right, that's a good blood pressure. Yes, yes. So I'd rather, you know, keep it that way. Shonda is laughing. I'd rather keep it that way. So yeah. So I'm gonna get off of here, y'all. I wanted to give y'all that little update. Hopefully it helps somebody. But man, it's just amazing how I kept saying weeks ago, when I said I gotta do it, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. And then I get overwhelmed, and to when does I go? Ain't gotta worry about that no more. I had did all my grocery shopping. Well, most of my grocery shopping, not all of it, most of it. But I had already wrote out my list and everything. So yeah, it was like either way it go, I was gonna change it. But I'm really gonna do it now. So I hope it helps somebody. Make sure y'all get y'all physicals. If you don't have insurance, it's important to just pay for your physical, once a year. Ladies, make sure you get your PAPs. I don't need now because I had one last year. Make sure you get your PAPs when you go for your even though you do breast exams or whatnot at home. Sometimes it's hard. If you go for your physical, ask the doctor to check for you. Go ahead and get that little thing and have them to go ahead and check. I'm apparently too young for perimenopause. That's getting I'm too young for that, she said. And unless I have a history, I'll be due to get mammograms, I think at 40 now. I don't have a family history or anything. She didn't fail none when she checked me herself. So if everything stay that way, then I ain't gotta worry about that until probably the next 2 years for to do that. So yeah. If you have any cycle changes or anything that you feel is not normal, go ahead and go to the doctor. Have them to check your thyroids and hormones and stuff. And it's just a peace of mind knowing everything is fine. So I'm gonna get this iron together, this vitamin D together, and this cholesterol together, and get myself back on track. Okay. So I encourage y'all to do that. That is part of taking care of yourself. I do not play about my health. If you have any mental issues, do not be shamed. Get you some therapy or whatnot or whatever to get, whatever, don't be shamed. It's part of taking care of yourself. Okay. I'm very open about my OCD. Actually, I'm OCPD, but it's easier just to say OCD. But I am very open about that because it's something I can't control, something I was born with. I cannot control that part of my mental. But it do not make me crazy. It makes me even more aware, okay? But the overwhelming, the obsessiveness, the thoughts of something always happening and all that do take control over your life. And that is where I need help at. So, yeah. So, I will be getting that help. So, with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for coming in. I hope I've helped somebody, encourage somebody to go, get your physicals, have that peace of mind, and eat right. But I've already started that, so you will be seeing. And if some of you want to follow along, because I am on my weight loss journey. I'm not doing no diets. I'm doing lifestyle. I'm doing clean. What I would do from here on out. Okay. So I'm not following no calorie count and all that stuff. I'm doing what I've done years ago. Okay, so it's just clean eating. It just is what it is. So I hope I've encouraged somebody. If somebody got to get the cholesterol down a little bit, okay, you gotta do it, Go ahead and do it. It can be done, okay. I'm just thankful I didn't hit the 200 mark, but I am in the high mark. So yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna get off in here. You're welcome, Dominique. You're welcome. So with that being said, I'm glad it's over with. I'm glad it's over with, y'all. I'm glad it's over with. So with that being said, I will see y'all in the next one, guys. Well, I think I may come back. I'm about to go make dinner. So I may come back on real quick and make dinner. I hope it's defrost. What I'm making. So I may do that. I may come back on and make dinner with y'all, okay? Because I've been kind of MIA. I haven't done my daily text readings, not for y'all or anything like that, because I have been dealing with my OCD. I literally have. So, yeah. So now with me being off the red meat again, hopefully that'll help me with the OCD. Hopefully that'll, you know, not feed it as much. But yeah, I may come back and just make dinner with y'all. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I shall see y'all here in a little bit, okay? Thank y'all for coming in. Love y'all. Let's see. I see that block button working real good too, Gloria, because we don't need no shenanigans over here. Thanks for sharing. Was it somebody in here I needed to block? Cause I didn't block nobody. Yolanda, are you saying in general? I eat pretty clean. I need to exercise more. Got you, Dominique. Was there somebody? Hey, Andrea. Was there somebody I needed to block? Cause I didn't block nobody. Are you saying that comment disappeared real fast? What comment? I missed it then. What comment? I'm going back up now because I see the stable homestead retracted a message. I didn't see it. What did it say? You can tell me what it said. Someone was in here and said what you dealing with. They just said what you dealing with now. That's all they said. Yolanda Life. I didn't block them, so they must have knew better and took it out. Okay. Yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I was talking about, not sure what the other was. I was talking about vitamin D and K2. Okay, the stable homestead. Okay, yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see whoever that was, but they will be all right. They will be all right. Um, they probably took it out when they realized it wasn't nothing crazy. That they probably was hoping it to be something crazy. They probably took it out then when they realized that this is more of encouraging and trying to get people to, do what we all should be doing, getting their physical. They probably ain't even had no physical. Probably don't even know what their numbers is. Probably don't even see a doctor. For the ones that want to be funny, they probably don't. And some people would be mad because of that, because they don't do and you do. They'll get mad from that. So whatever the case may be, I'm not worried about no pole cats, okay? They were literally, Yolanda, I'm telling you, people would get mad because they don't take care of themselves, and they get mad because you don't. They feel some type of way. It is what it is. I ain't worried about no pole cat, okay? And yeah, my block button has been working though. And I ain't been taking everybody's stuff out. Some of them I let stay in the comment sections so y'all can see, because they be so slow to not understand. You helping me out when you come. The ones that we can understand what they saying, they've been doing that for years. When you come and you show up for people that's underhandedly trying to get under my skin, when you come and show up for them and you helping me out by you trying to be funny. I mean, it's just duh. Like, so some of them I leave in there. But you come and you want to be disrespectful. Those that want to be disrespectful to my subscribers, y'all ain't gotta deal with that. I take it out. I take it out and I block and delete. Okay. But these people want to get loose at the mouth, want to say stupid stuff. I've been letting them just stay in there. I am focused on me. My time, you're not finna get me worked up. You're not finna do, too many people done had that advantage to do that. Certain people that, want to do all the copying and stuff, I haven't even been watching. I don't even watch. I'm not even gonna entertain it. They can sit over and do whatever they want to do. They know it's not right. But if that's the type of people they are, then oh well. And I have been the ones that's been just ridiculous. I have literally been blocking you and deleting. You would spend all your time creating accounts to come bother me when all I got to do is hit two buttons and delete, and you got to go and make another account or whatnot. So those that have multiple already made, you still gonna have to make some, because I'm gonna block everyone come through that's saying something crazy. The ones that just saying little smart stuff and thinking they been, I leave them in there now, y'all. And some of them I don't even see, because to my attention, they doing something they used to do years ago. They going under y'all comments, and I don't get notifications for that. So if somebody is talking crazy to you under your comment, just delete it, because if it's crazy, I don't see it. I don't get, unless I sit down and go in depth and look at replies, which I don't have time to do that. I don't see it. So they were starting doing this a couple years ago, where they would say, if they would write something, I would get that comment. So when I started blocking a lot of comments, because remember me and Rondé did a video, we was talking about block and delete. Last year? We were saying block and delete. Blocking, and people started saying it in the comment section. Was it either earlier this year? Might have been earlier this year. He think it was earlier this year. But when I started saying that, people started getting smart and going under y'all comments saying little slick stuff, and those I will have to sit down all day and just go and look, and I'm not finna do that. So if somebody is harassing you or something, just know I don't see it, because I would have removed it. Just you block them, so you don't have to see it. You can I think block their comments if they're under yours, if they're under your comment. Some I just don't see, and I get comments all day from so many different videos, and I just cannot keep up with everybody comments, y'all. So not ignoring you, I just can't keep up with all of them. Okay, so you gotta understand, the way I see my comments on the YouTube studio, it goes from, if somebody leave a comment from a video I did 10 years ago, that's going to be the comment they notify me of. That was the last comment. So I have comments from videos that I have to go back sometime to even to reply to the comment to see what the video was about. So when I look at it on the studio, I'm not looking at like, oh, recent or this. I'm looking at the last comment. And if it was on a video from 10 years ago, that's what I see. So unless I would go into the, the actual videos or whatnot. And yeah. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, y'all, because I got to go make dinner. And I'm probably going to come back on and make dinner with y'all, for anybody that want to join in, okay? So yeah, so everything is all good. Lifestyle changes, which is easy for me to do. So everything is good. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Love y'all, and I will talk to y'all in a little bit. Okay, bye.